Allergies. That's why. Allergies. Enough said. At this point, I don't think it's a Castleberry video without these two jokesters in the background doing what they do best. Before jumping into this, gotta give a big shout out and thank you to everybody in the lawn forum that's helped me figure out this problem. This whole irrigation system thing, they've been a huge help, and they've helped me ask the right questions and go down the right paths to figure out the answers that I need. So to all of you, you know who you are, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And everybody that commented on my last video when I was digging out my system in the backyard, thank you for all of your help, your advice, all your pointers, all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff I love and enjoy, that we can all throw our comments, our thoughts, our ideas in the comment section on the video. Hopefully we all learn something and we all become better. So I says to the Turf fam the other day, I says, because we homeschool, everything turns into a teaching opportunity. So that's what today is. Today's Dad Lab, all about water pressure. Ready?
Yeah.
Two things I wanted to accomplish: figure out what the gallons per minute is on my secondary water lines, which is what feeds my irrigation system, and two, what is the PSI? Mission accomplished. We figured out that the PSI is 40 PSI on that secondary line. All right, let's turn it on and see what kind of pressure we get. All right, that's all the way on. Right at, a little over, right at or slightly past 40. And to figure out the gallons per minute, we did the whole 5-gallon bucket test, where we take the 5-gallon bucket, we time how long it takes to fill up that 5-gallon bucket from the spigot that's fed by the secondary water. All right, so one thing that we're gonna need is a 5-gallon bucket, right? All right, so yep, put that there. That's good. I'm gonna hit start on my phone the minute I start filling this up, okay?
Okay.
And then when it's filled all the way up, I'm gonna hit stop. Okay? Here we go. So that took roughly 50 seconds to fill up.
Wow, that's gross.
That water is very gross. How long did it take us to fill it up?
50 seconds.
50 seconds. Not the cleanest in the world, so don't go and drinking that, kids. 5, which represents the 5-gallon bucket. 50, which represents the seconds it took to fill up that 5-gallon bucket. That gave me 0.1. We times that by 60, which is 60 seconds for a minute, and that gives me 6 gallons per minute. Pretty weak. As I've mentioned before, the reason I want to know this information is so that I can optimize my irrigation system in the back, and I'm just throwing a whole bunch of heads on a line that can't handle it. So that's the reason for diving deep into all of this. And here's some other things that I kind of learned along the way. Let's say I want to use heads that take 2 gallons per minute. That means I can only use 3 heads on one line for a zone. Let's say I have 12 gallons per minute, and I'm gonna use those same heads that require 2 gallons per minute to operate and run, do their thing, whatever. That means I can go 1 head, 2 gallons, 2 heads, 4 gallons, 3 heads, 6, 4 heads, 8, 5 heads, 10, 6 heads, 12 gallons per minute. Can't go past that, I'm tapped out. This opens up some questions. Do I really truly only have 6 gallons per minute at 40 PSI? Are those the true numbers? Or do I have a problem somewhere in the lines? Let me show you this. Let's move the swords out of the way. Right here is the irrigation control valve box for the secondary water. If I shut the water off here, I still have water flowing through right here, which means I can't open that up to take a look at the filter to see what's going on there. Otherwise, we're gonna have water spewing out and it's just not gonna be pleasant or fun. But the question is, do I have another shutoff valve somewhere? And the answer is no. Right here is the shutoff valve for the main line that goes into the house, but the shutoff for the secondary water line past what I have control over here is somewhere out there. And I did confirm with them that if I want the water just completely shut off to the system, they've got to be the one to do it because they have the control up there at their HQ. I don't have anywhere else besides that red valve that I just showed you in the irrigation control box to shut the water off to my lines. They've got to do it from up there. So for me to check that filter to see if that's a problem, they've got to shut the water off themselves can't do that. So here's the reservoir, which feeds all of our secondary water lines right here. Last year, this was all the way to the bottom. It was bad. They also agree that 6 gallons per minute, 40 PSI, that doesn't seem right. So that's resulted in a work order put in for them to have to come out to the property, take a look at it themselves, and see what's going on. So not a whole lot more I can do there. In the meantime, just take a look at the nice little salad bar we got going on back here. It is, it's hurting pretty bad. But, I mean, grass is growing, so that's a bonus, that's a plus. Now, while some may see this as a setback, for me, it's all part of the learning process. Figuring out the right questions to ask, again, thanks to the guys in the lawn forum for that, getting the right answers, that's what it's going to take to really get this system optimized in the back. As I started to dig deep into this, some of the other things that were suggested that you should keep in mind is when you're testing like what I did, you should test as close to the time of the day that you plan on watering, because how many other people are going to be watering at that same time? Is that going to fluctuate the pressure, the gallons per minute, the flow rates, all that kind of stuff? Is that going to have a factor in this? It might, and that's one of the questions I plan on asking when they come out here to take a look at my lines and my system and just kind of help me figure out what's going on here. Because it's pretty hard for me to believe that 6 gallons per minute, 40 PSI, I don't think that's right. I think there's something else at play here. Look, this all takes time. It takes understanding. It's not just a quick 15-minute Google search and all your problems are solved. That's been my mode of action for a long time, and I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to get a better understanding of how all of this stuff works so that I can get the property looking the way that I really want it and everything is optimized to its absolute best potential. No longer am I going to do the whole turn to the Google gods, ask them for help. I'm going to reach out to the people who actually know and understand what's going on, and I'm going to try and learn from them so that I can better my property, my grass, my turf, get it to look the way I want it to look, and just overall improve things. That's the goal. Hopefully with every video, I'm getting better, you're getting better, we're all getting better together. That's what the whole goal is for all of this. So here's to learning. I hope all of you enjoyed this video. Thumbs up if you did. Please keep leaving me those comments. Questions, concerns, hopes, dreams, aspirations, whatever you want to put down there, put them down there. I enjoy reading all of it. Subscribe if you're not already. Follow along with me as I continue to try and get this property shining and looking good. I'm pretty happy. It could be better. I see imperfections, but again, it's gonna take time, and I hope all of you will join me as I learn how to get this thing looking good, and hopefully can learn a thing or two along the way. Keep on keeping on, and I'll catch you in the next one. Why are you hiding? Karen, why are you hiding?